Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Please subscribe my channel. The silence in the office was absolute, broken only by the soft click of the door closing. He was alone. The weight of the day's news should have been crushing, a final, definitive judgment. The charts and graphs showed a sheer cliff face of public opinion, a historic plummet. He was, by every metric, the most rejected. Ever. Yet, as he stood there, a strange sensation began to bloom in his chest. It was not relief, not happiness, but a profound and unsettling lightness. The countless strings that had pulled at him, from allies, adversaries, the ever-shifting poles, had all been cut at once. He was a marionette with no one holding the wires. For years, his every move had been a calculation, a triangulation. A delicate dance on a tightrope of perception, each step tested, each word focus grouped into bland safety. He had built his career on a foundation of sand, constantly pouring more sand to keep it from collapsing. Now the tide had come in. The foundation was gone. There was nothing left to lose. No popularity to maintain, no mythical center to hold. The ground had fallen away, leaving him standing on a bare, hard plinth of reality. A soft knock came at the door. His aide entered, her face pale, a tablet clutched like a shield. The press office has drafted 3 potential response strategies. We need to choose one too. No, he said, his voice quieter than he expected. There will be no response. Sir? No speeches, no rebuttals, no strategy. He turned to the window. The city sprawled beneath him, a tapestry of lights and lives that had collectively rendered their verdict. He was free. Not free in a triumphant way, but free in the way a bankrupt man is free from his creditors. The debt of expectation had been called in, and he had nothing left to pay. So now he was simply himself. The days that followed were unnervingly quiet. The political world, primed for a counterattack or a desperate plea, found nothing. The silence from his office was a void they could not fill. Pundits scrambled, their attacks growing more shrill as they echoed into the emptiness. He offered them nothing. Instead, he began to work. He called his ministers to his office. The meetings were stark, stripped of all political theater. The infrastructure bill, he would say. Is it the right thing to do? Well, the regional assessments are positive, but the political cost in the. Is it the right thing to do? He would repeat, his tone flat, final. A grim, purposeful energy began to seep through the government's corridors. Long dormant files were opened. Decisions, once mired in committees and fear, were made with a stark, surgical clarity. He was like a surgeon operating on a patient who was already screaming in outrage. The noise was irrelevant, only the procedure mattered. His liberation was a cold, solitary thing. He walked the halls of power as a ghost, untouched by the usual anxieties. The whispered criticisms in the corridors, the venomous headlines left on his desk. They were like snow falling on a stone, leaving no impression. The stone does not feel the cold. One evening, he walked through the private garden. The air was chill. He could see his own breath, a faint cloud in the twilight. He was utterly alone. There were no cameras, no aides, no citizens to recognize him. He was just a man in a garden, carrying the heaviest and lightest of burdens. He knew the storms would return. The weather of public life was eternally turbulent, but he had found the eye of the hurricane, a place of perfect, terrible calm, where all the sound and fury signified nothing. He was unshackled. Not to be loved, or even liked, but to act. To do what he, stripped bare of all pretense and possibility, believed was necessary. The abyss had stared back, and, in its infinite, empty reflection, he had found not an end, but a beginning. A blank page. And for the first time in a very, very long time, his hand did not shake.